Hey guys, just want to have a quick chat about variation. So this is a perfect example. So this is actually one of our own projects, and I just wanted to show you what can go wrong on a project. So a lot of people think that builders will take the opportunity to charge variations wherever they can to make more money. But like as most of you would know that's been following us, we quote our jobs extremely accurately. So the only two things that will change costs on a project of ours is if clients change their mind or something goes wrong in the ground, which is what's happened here. So I wanted to take this opportunity to show you and explain to you why things can go so wrong. So I've got a board here with me today to give you an example. So this particular project is Moreton Bay, so we've got sea or ocean only about sort of 70 to 80 metres away. So generally when you're close to that environment, the soil conditions are quite bad. So we had always predicted that we needed piers here, and in the past, every job we've done with piers, you can never tell exactly how deep they're going to go. So what we did on this project, and what we do on all of our projects, we actually meet the soil testers on site. So I've done a little diagram here. This was the existing site before we started, had an existing little old cottage on it, and these red dots are where we requested the soil tests to be done. So the soil tests were all done underneath the new footprint for the townhomes. So look, we met the soil test rig on site. They took 5 core samples. Normally they'll take 2 or 3, we requested 5, and we tried to spread them out over the site so we could clearly get a good indication of the soil type. The soil tester went down to 2.5 to 3.2 metres. They hit what they thought was stiff, silty clay, but it wasn't a good enough result. We asked them to go deeper. They told us it would be more than adequate for the engineer to make some comments and do his design. So what happened from that? The engineering design came back for the footings and slab. Obviously it came up that we needed piers, but it also came back as inconclusive. So there was so much variance in the soil that we couldn't get a confirmed depth of our piers. So on the soil test, it showed stiff silty clay at around 2.5 to 3 metres. So what happened, the engineer suggested that we allow to go to 4 metres for our piers. We shopped around, we got 3 quotes for our piers. And what's happened, we went with the guy in the middle. He had the most knowledge. He'd allowed for 4 metre piers, 3.5 metre piers, and we thought that would be more than enough to cover it. There's actually a house only 2 doors up, so 30 metres away. They did their piers about 4 to 5 weeks ago, and their piers only went 1.6 to 2.2 metres deep, and they hit rock. So we thought we were going to be fine here. What's happened is we've started on site this week. We had the pier guys on site on Tuesday. The very first pier they put in the ground went to 5.5 metres. If you've ever had anything to do with piers before, the quote will come through at a set rate. So on this particular job, there was 115 piers allowed for at 3.5 metres. So anything over that, they use 1 metre extensions, which are obviously a variation cost. So look, this is our own job, like us as builders, it's our own project. We did as much as we possibly could to avoid getting a variation. But I just want to give you another diagram of why this happens. If this line here is the underside of our house or our existing ground level, so what's happened here, even though we've done soil tests, so pretty much around where we've done the soil tests, the piers were the shallowest. But what's happened over the 60 metre site, the ground underneath obviously goes like this. So what happens when they come to do the screw piers, they put the screw piers in at this depth, and the screw piers just go down till they hit solid ground. So we've ended up with all these varying depths. So over the site, we've ended up with piers anywhere from 1.8 metres deep to our deepest one 6.2. But what it means is over the course of the 2 days, being that there's 115 piers on this site, on the very first day of construction on our own project, ourselves as the builder has ended up with a $16,500 variation. So look guys, it's not just builders that are charging variations. In the ground there are so many unknowns, and look, we try and educate our clients as best we can, but just putting it out there, when you're working in the ground, it is always unknown, and especially when you have piers involved. So look, perfect example. Look, we allowed a little bit of a contingency on top of our piering just because we've done it in the past, but we never expected it to be that bad. So first day on the job, $16,000, $17,000 variation. Not a very good way to start the project, but that's just what happens in building. Cheers guys.